Hey class, as we talked about, the schools shut down for a while, and as you may have read about or seen on the news, it could very well be that we're going to be online for a little while, maybe even the rest of the semester. So I think it can be a little bit overwhelming, a little scary, and I'm sorry for that. I'm here for you guys. You can email me anytime if you ever want to chat. I've never been through anything like this. It's a kind of a unique thing as far as the pandemic, but I do think, we'll all get through it together. So, anywho, you should have seen an announcement, and it should have been sent to you as an email as well with some instructions from me. But I think perhaps it could have been a little overwhelming because I sent a lot of information. So I thought I'd send you a video as well to go over it. So let me just pull that up here and we can go over it together. So, all right. So for this next week, this first week here, I think we're considering this week 9. So, the reading this week is chapter 9, so I encourage everyone to read the whole book, and I'm going to try to model online what we did in the classroom. Obviously, it's not going to be the same thing, not even close, but my goal is to kind of mirror it a little bit. So we're still going to do our weekly presentations like we normally do on Mondays. I'm going to give you a little more time though, since it's going to be new. Want you to have a little time to get used to it. So instead of doing them on Mondays, you're going to have until Tuesday at midnight. And what I want you to do is, instead of obviously presenting, just write a little bit about your assigned pages. Before our last class, we did our assignments for each of the 4 groups, which group would take which pages. So hopefully you divvied up the pages like you normally do. So I mentioned in these instructions that in Blackboard, we're using something called discussion board a lot. So hopefully you're familiar with discussion board. If not, I give you instructions in that email I sent in section 1, numbers 5 and 6. If you go in, and it'll tell you how to do it. And actually, let me see if I can pull it up really quickly. I can show you. That might be helpful. Actually, maybe I'll make another video about that. Let me just give you a broad overview right now. So we're going to have those weekly group presentations. That'll be due by Tuesday night. And then by Thursday night, I want you to go into each of the four groups and pick one person's post to comment on. So let's say Christina is presenting on, reasons for people to marry. So she posts about, 1, like we've talked about in class, 1, tax breaks, 2, companionship, 3, blah, blah, blah. So then let's say from there, Emma goes into that group and she clicks on Christina's post and she types something like, wow, that's really interesting. I never knew that you got tax breaks from being married, blah, blah, blah. So you'll want to do one comment in each of the 4 groups. So obviously, besides Christina's group, every other group will have multiple postings. So you can pick any of the postings and just make a comment that's kind of substantive. Don't just be like, oh, that's cool, right? So say a little more. That'll be due by Thursday night. So Tuesday night, make your post about your material, and then by Thursday night, go into each of the 4 groups and make one comment on one of the people's posts, and unless it's Christina's case, in which case she has a group all her own. So that's our weekly presentations. Then we're still going to do quizzes. You all are just going to email them to me instead of our normal deal. So anytime before midnight on Wednesdays, you'll email me the answer to the question. So this week, as I put in the instructions, your question is, what are some of the reasons people choose to parent or not? Is choosing not to have children a valid choice? So you'll just have read the book, so you'll know the answer to that, and you'll write me an email just like you normally do with your quizzes, except you'll type them up. And then the last thing for this week is called Watch and Reflect. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 videos for you here, all related to this week's reading. So I just want you to pick one of them. Like the first one's called How to Raise Successful Kids. So I just want you to watch the video, whichever one looks most interesting to you, and then talk a little bit about it. What did you think? What did you feel? What did you find interesting? Etc. And that is all we're doing for this week. Like I said, I think it's quite possible that we're going to be doing this for a while, maybe even the rest of the semester. They haven't announced that, but other schools in Maryland are doing that, and the governor has encouraged universities to do that, so that may be happening. So this week, I just want you all to get used to the format. Hopefully that is not too much to do, but if it is, if you're having trouble, just let me know. And I'll definitely give you all some grace with this first week as we're all getting used to it. Plus, you do have some deadlines outstanding from before we switched over to this format. That the research paper is due in week 9. No, I already gave you guys an extension on that. That was supposed to be due a couple weeks ago. So if you're having trouble for some reason, email me. Otherwise, that's due March 25th. And then that assignment 2 is going to be due in week 10. That's March 30th. So those are the 2 deadlines that you already knew about. If you're having trouble meeting the deadlines, let me know. But otherwise, the new things are, 1, weekly presentations are now going to be online. You're going to make your presentation, and then you're going to comment on 4 people's posts. So you're going to make your post, and then you're going to comment on 4 people's posts. You're going to email me your quiz, and you're going to do that watch and reflect thing. So, and like I said, this is all, I wrote this all out, and it's in Blackboard in the announcements section, and it should have been emailed to you as well. That's all I've got for now. And like I said, just, I know this is a stressful time. It's stressful for me too. And I think it can be a scary time, and I'm sorry for that. I miss you guys, so if I don't get to see you all for a while, I'll be sad. But I think, you know, we all just have to do the best we can. It's a weird situation, and that's all we can do is the best we can do. So hang in there. Email me if you have trouble with any of the content. Email me if you don't understand, you know, this setup for this first week, or if you have any questions at all. All right, take care.